This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Webb. It's Thursday, December 21st, the first day of winter, known as winter solstice. Almost, right?
Well, technically, yes, it's the first day.
And then what time does it happen today, John Scalzi?
I believe we agreed on 11:28, did we not?
We did.
Yes.
We just got that confirmed. And so it's 11:28 this morning. The shortest day of the year, is that with the least amount of sunlight? Is that how it works?
It is the day when the sun goes furthest north, and consequently the jet stream starts its progression back to the south, and we get to enjoy, the jet stream has moved furthest to the north, and we get to enjoy some eventually warmer weather.
All right. Well, speaking of someone that's also enjoying some warmer weather, our Ray Collins is off today. He is on vacation. We thank you guys for joining us today as well.
We certainly do. We have fog problem again this morning.
Yes, we do. That's the big story again today.
Yes, it is. You know, we don't have a dense fog advisory up for our area right now. That's located more to the north, up around the Crystal River area, but it could be moving down a little further to the south. The thing is, we have a southwest wind today, so if we get some fog forming over Gulf waters, it could blow that sea fog back toward the coastline and bring us another kind of dense fog morning, patchy dense fog. Right now, not too terribly bad across the region, but we will be monitoring it throughout the morning. A little bit of sunshine and a little bit of cloud coming our way this afternoon as a frontal boundary sinks southward. That could bring us a shower or two as well. Details on the forecast in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Now let's head over to traffic. We've got a big traffic update to get to right here. First of all, starting off in Manatee County, there was a fatal morning crash around 1:30 this morning. So right now, US 301 northbound at 15th Street is blocked by emergency vehicles. It's not popping up on our traffic maps yet, but we do want to let you know that it is blocked by emergency vehicles. Again, that's US 301 northbound right there at 15th Street. That is blocked. So we want to make sure you know to go around that area if that is part of your morning commute. And like John said, lots of fog out there today. I almost missed my exit at Fruitville. Lots of fog, so give yourself a couple extra minutes to get out there and slow it down so you can see where you're going. All right, let's head now into North Sarasota. That one is looking pretty good. Not too bad out there. A little bit of a slowdown right there by 41 as well. And of course, University Parkway, lots of people out there getting ready to do their early, and I should say late Christmas shopping. So that one's going to slow down throughout the morning as well. And then heading down into South County, that one's looking pretty good. Your commute down that way is all right this morning. But again, the big story is fog, so leave yourself extra time out there this morning, and we'll give you updates as we know them on the crash in Manatee County. All right, breaking news overnight. We are just getting in details of an attack in Melbourne, Australia. A car drove into a crowd of pedestrians outside a major train station there. Police are saying it was a deliberate act. ABC's Arlette Saenz has the latest. Got some other updates. So as you know, earlier this week, the GOP tax bill was officially signed and put into place. Now, as a result of that, there are actually several companies out there, several huge companies that are sharing that wealth, some of the tax breaks that they're getting with their employees. Our Marla is out live this morning at Wells Fargo, which happens to be one of the big corporations that is sharing the wealth with their employees this holiday season. Let's take a look at that. Marla, what's going on out there today?
Good morning to you, Stephanie. That is right. You know, people right here on the Suncoast, they are benefiting from some of those, from that tax reform. Many people who work for corporations like Wells Fargo and Comcast and even AT&T, they'll be getting an increase in their pay or even a bonus. Now, Wells Fargo, those employees will be getting a 11% increase in pay from $13.50 to $15 an hour. Some corporations like AT&T will also be getting a $1,000 bonus, as well as people working for corporations like Fifth Third Bank Corp. Now, other corporations that will be benefiting from this tax reform, and so will their employees, are Comcast, Boeing, and like I said, Fifth Third Bank. So we will work to bring you some more information on this tax reform and how it will be impacting people working for those corporations. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Marla. We've got more information. She's going to be updating us throughout the morning. You can also find more information online on our app as well. And the search continues this morning for the person or people responsible for slashing tires on nearly 24 cars in Bradenton. It happened at the Park Crest Landings apartment complex. ABC 7's Rick Adams has the story.
Well, as you can see, there's now a spare tire on this vehicle. This is just one of the many cars here that was struck by the tire slasher. It was a big headache for people to deal with late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says at least 20 cars had tires slashed in the Park Crest Landings apartment complex in Bradenton. Both of the vehicles belonging to Russ Town had tires slashed, including his Jeep.
Owning a Jeep soft top, I'm pretty sure it could have been a lot worse than it is, but it's kind of frustrating because we live in a gated community and it's kind of a close-knit group here.
The car owners had to have spare tires placed on their vehicles, and in some cases the cars needed to be towed away to be repaired. The sheriff's office is taking a good hard look at who could have done something like this.
We know it's somebody who had access to the apartment complex because it's gated, whether it's somebody that lives in there or whether it's somebody that managed to get in to do this act of property destruction.
At this point, no surveillance video from the property has been made available, but the sheriff's office says that could change in the coming days.
I have a pretty good feeling that they'll figure this out, who did this, and then especially when this getting out on the TVs and the internet and stuff like that, somebody's going to know, and then eventually someone's going to talk.
And the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is continuing with their investigation. They are hopeful that they will have a suspect in custody very soon. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A Florida man has pleaded guilty to charges connected to his role in a suspected terror plot. 22-year-old Joshua Ryan Goldberg pleaded guilty Wednesday to a count of attempted malicious damage and destruction by an explosive of a building. Goldberg was accused of providing a co-conspirator with detailed instructions to produce a bomb for the attack. The bomb was supposed to be similar to the pressure cooker-based devices that were used in those Boston Marathon bombings. Authorities say the target was a 9/11 memorial ceremony in Kansas City, Missouri.
I mean, there's a lot of background information that explains the context of what was happening and why. It's certainly related to his mental health situation and things he was doing on the internet, completely unrelated to what you have seen. That's a complicated answer. There'll probably be more information available as we go.
Wednesday's plea was part of a deal reached with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, Goldberg faces up to 20 years in a federal institution, but the recommended punishment is 8 years. And a Miami area police officer who was dragged by a car Tuesday is now home from the hospital. Pembroke Pines police officer John Cusack will spend the holidays at home with his family. Officer Cusack, a 19-year-old veteran of the force, was checking out a report of a possible overdose. Now, he woke up the people inside of this car, and while he was trying to speak with the driver, 38-year-old Thomas Cabrera punches the gas, dragging the officer more than a half a mile at speeds of over 60 miles per hour. So far, Officer Cusack had only spoken publicly through the Broward Police Benevolent Association. He says he's just happy that he wasn't more seriously hurt in that case. Well, as the holidays approach, more and more people are driving on our Suncoast roads. Now, that increase in drivers has led to an increase in, of course, traffic crashes. Some of those have been fatal. Earlier this month, 2 people died in Venice in a head-on collision. Just yesterday, a woman was killed along I-75. The Florida Highway Patrol is warning drivers, take it easy out there. Give yourself some extra time so you're not in a rush to your destination.
A lot of this is coming from people not paying attention, not necessarily just on their mobile device, but looking around, speaking with someone, or simply being in a hurry and trying to change lanes.
And of course, troopers expect an additional 100,000 drivers to be on our Suncoast roads this holiday season. We're going to have more later on that in the hour. Alrighty, Manatee County parents who wish to enroll their child in a school other than the one which they are assigned for the 2018-2019 school district's time are in luck. The high school session to change your kids' enrollment runs from January 8th through the 19th. The middle school session runs February 5th through the 16th, and then the elementary school sessions run from March 5th through the 15th. The school choice open enrollment period is the only time during the year in which parents can apply to request their child attend another school district. We've got those dates for you online as well if you missed it. And big news, 2 Venice high school football players have locked in their college futures. Bryce Carpenter and Javon Hiley will attend Coastal Carolina in the fall. Their official signing took place yesterday at Bogey Sports Bar in Venice. It was the first day of the early signing period. Usually most of these actually take place in February. This comes less than 2 weeks after the two helped Venice win the Class 7A state championship.
I mean, it's awesome. It's a great experience, and I love all the people that came and come to support us, and it's a lot of fun.
And several other high school athletes also signed letters of intent yesterday across the area, including Braden Rivers' Deshaun Fenwick, Tyrone Collins, and Taylor Upshaw. Fenwick signing with South Carolina, Collins with Missouri, and Upshaw is headed to University of Michigan.
Well,
all right, and John, you signed with our weather team. Yay.
Hey. Good thing that they signed yesterday, I guess, because you were saying winter solstice, not a good day.
That is right. I read this article on USA Today, or in USA Today, and they were saying that by the astrology terms, winter solstice is typically a very unlucky day. You shouldn't make big life decisions. Don't ask anyone to marry you. Maybe don't sign a contract. That's something about the way that the planets align with Saturn that it doesn't bring the best luck today.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, we'll have to watch that.
I think we're going to have
to
do that.
Be careful.
I'm glad they all got their signing out of the way yesterday.
One thing we know is that it's bringing some storms. Well, it's not bringing some storms, but there are coincidentally some storms on the same day that are producing some travel woes across parts of the country today.
That is right. You're going to have that update for us?
Yes, indeed, in just a few.
All right, still to come, we've got your latest and first alert traffic. That includes a major closure in Manatee County, plus how to drive safe during the holidays, both on the road and things you should know before you leave home. And then coming up a little later in the hour, is a government shutdown imminent? We've got all the details. Stick around. Good Morning Suncoast is straight ahead.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have the potential again this morning of seeing some dense fog form in patchy locations across the region. But right now, the dense fog advisory is located well to our north up around Crystal River and back toward the Panhandle. Nevertheless, even though it is not in our area currently, I think we do have the potential of seeing some patchy dense fog, and perhaps that dense fog advisory issued for some parts of our area, or at least closer by as we progress through the morning. Already we've got a half-mile visibility in Sarasota, but in other locations the visibility is much better, like Punta Gorda coming in at 3 miles. Again, this morning it's going to be kind of patchy. If you're in the fog now, you might not be in a half an hour, and alternatively, if you are not in the fog yet, you could be in about a half hour. I think the best location for the fog will be closer to the coastline this morning as we develop that southwesterly wind. Right now, it is southwest at about 7, and we have a temperature and dew point match coming in at 100% actually. The only difference I think between today and yesterday is that we have a little bit more wind speed today, and wind speeds tend to kind of stir up the lower levels of the atmosphere and reduce the fog threat just a little bit. So perhaps the potential risk for fog, dense fog, widespread, is a little more reduced today because of those wind speeds. But nevertheless, conditions are still prime for the formation of some fog. So we'll keep an eye on that, and you can allow yourself a little extra time for your morning commute just in case you might encounter some of that fog out there. 70 degrees in Tampa, 68 degrees in Fort Myers, Orlando coming in at 69, Tallahassee at 63, and across our region, pretty much the same. Along the coastline, temperatures a little bit warmer, coming in the lower 70s, and inland areas coming in the mid to upper 60s most everywhere. So no rain falling across our region today. That does not mean that I'm giving the all clear on rainfall as I did yesterday. I think there is the potential for a little bit of patchy drizzle or maybe even a passing shower, but not until later in the day, the second half of the day. I'd say particularly around between 3 and 6 o'clock. That might be the best time for this line of showers associated with a low pressure area that's wrapped up and moving off the Carolina coast to sink a little bit further to the south and help produce the chance of those showers in our area. It's not a big chance by any stretch of the imagination, maybe about a 10% chance that we'll get a little bit of drizzle or passing rain. No gully washers. It's not a rain out. I am not calling a first alert weather day because of this line of showers. I think what we will see, though, is a little bit more cloud cover around today, and that cloud cover may help reduce our daytime high temperature a degree or two compared to yesterday. That front sinks south and just basically stalls out over north central Florida. The whole system basically washes away. We're left with morning fog, afternoon sun, and warmer than average temperatures. That'll be the case again tomorrow. And it really won't be until next week that we see a cooler cold front head our way. West wind at about 10, becoming a little more northwesterly at about 5 knots or so. And the forecast is calling for a 78-degree temperature on Thursday, followed by a chance of showers as we head into Monday, about a 20% chance on Christmas Day. That will be early in the morning. And then our temperatures will only drop down to about seasonable for this time of year, really. So not even then will we see a cold Arctic blast of air, just a little more refreshing breeze out of the northeast. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Here's your first alert traffic. We do have a major traffic situation up here in Manatee County. If you are headed out in the next couple minutes, this is a big one. It's on 301 by the corner of 15th Street. Now, here's the deal. Call came in around 1:30 this morning. It was a vehicle and pedestrian crash. There is a fatality involved. The sheriff's office confirmed it this morning. There are emergency vehicles on site, so you're going to want to go around that particular area. Again, that is 301 southbound right there by 15th Street, that intersection that is going to be clogged with emergency vehicles because of this accident. So that is your look at Manatee County. Now, if we're going to head down into Sarasota County, not looking too bad yet, but the big story, again, we're talking about this morning is fog. There is dense fog out there in some patches. Make sure that you give yourself a little bit extra time. Leave a little bit early. It's hard to see the exit signs, the street signs, so there's some slowdowns possible out there for you, and a little bit of one on 780. Now, in South County, that one is actually looking pretty good. No real major traffic concerns in that area. Again, the big story this morning, just the fog. All right, more than 5.6 million Floridians are expected to travel 50 miles or more during the upcoming Christmas and New Year's week, which could be a record. But the signs say, be careful. The Florida Highway Patrol says there were more than 10,000 car accidents during the holiday travel period last year, including 112 deaths. State troopers will be out in extra numbers over the next week and a half, making sure us Floridians travel safety.
We ask everybody to exercise patience, not only to pack your luggage, but also to pack patience. It's going to be a very busy travel season. Thanksgiving and Christmas usually are, but we want everybody to be safe. Just be courteous to everybody.
And some things that you can do before you even leave home. FHP is also asking drivers to register their emergency contact information with the agency in case of an accident, and especially something if it happens far away from home as well. And keep all the numbers updated in your phone in case you have an accident. Well, package theft is a big problem year-round, but even more so during the holiday season. Case in point, one Siesta Key family which tried taking precautions but still fell victim. Now, video caught two men loitering in front of the home. Within seconds, the thief makes off with 3 of their packages. The victims, who were out of town at the time, were able to view the theft on their surveillance system.
I opened up the Ring, and I actually saw a young man taking packages from our front step, picking them up and running off the steps with them. It's just a sick feeling. It was a very sick feeling because it's done. There's nothing you can do about it. And you look at all of the options that, how could I have prevented this?
All right, some ways maybe to help prevent it. Police say when possible, send your packages to a place where someone will be able to receive them in person. Now, as you cross names off your holiday shopping list, one thing that can get a little uncomfortable: should you tip or gift people who provide you with a service, like a personal trainer, maybe your hairstylist, a mail carrier? A Care.com survey says 87% of people questioned have shown gratitude with the gift of a holiday tip. Now, of those, 71% will tip a child care provider, like a babysitter or a nanny. More than half of those will tip personal care providers, like hairstylists, personal trainers, or manicurists. And 43% will tip delivery workers, like the mail carrier. On Care.com's list of people not to tip, don't tip your dentist or don't tip your doctor and vets. They apparently don't need a tip. Now, when deciding to tip, consider the relationship that you have with the service provider and how long you've worked with them before determining if you should tip a gift. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Apple has admitted that they are deliberately slowing down their iPhones. We're going to tell you why. And then coming up around 5:30, how life is looking in the Florida Keys this holiday season after Irma. Stick around. Those stories and more when Good Morning Suncoast returns.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert, weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
All right, and there it is. Those are all of our social media outlets you can follow us on. We hope you follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. We're also now on Instagram as well. We do daily Instagram news updates. We'll give you all the headlines and a lot of great behind-the-scenes stuff as well. And if you'd like to follow any of us personally, we're all on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're all on Instagram as well. And if you can get us any of your pictures, we want them. Especially any Ray Collins vacation pictures. We totally want those. And just a reminder, we would love to see those, even video if you want to send it in. Send it to the show. You can connect with us on Facebook, and be sure to check out, like we mentioned, My Suncoast on Instagram as well. All right, welcome back. It is around 5:15 this morning, and Apple is addressing why older iPhones tend to slow down. ABC's Candice Gibson and Diane Macedo have the details in this morning Tech Bites.
Today's Tech Bites, Apple admits to slowing down older iPhones.
So Apple says it slows down the processors on older iPhones to prevent battery issues that could cause the phones to suddenly shut down or restart. The tech giant claims it's not a ploy to get you to replace your phone.
Though it often does that too.
Exactly. It appears Amazon could be rolling out a rival to YouTube.
The company recently filed to get trademarks for two names, Amazon Tube and OpenTube. The filing came days after YouTube's parent company Google pulled YouTube from Amazon devices. And Jiffy is out with the most used GIFs of the year. At number 3, the waving pug with 215 million views.
And then the blinking guy. Yeah, of course, second most viewed GIF. And the most viewed one was the love gnome. That was viewed 350 million times this year.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Match.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Taylor.
I'm Catherine.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
Looking for a real relationship? Text LOVE to 370-370 and Match will give you 7 days free.
I'm looking for someone to laugh with.
I am looking to explore. I'm not a game player. I like nice guys.
Text LOVE to 370-370 and get 7 days free.
I hope to see you soon.
Come find me. I can't wait to meet you.
Why wait to meet someone great? Text LOVE to 370-370 and get yours 7 days free on Match now.
Girl, I say, if only life would lean our way. Well, you and me, we'd run away to be wherever our adventure waits.
That moment when who you're going with is more important than where you're going. Wherever life takes us, we go together. Interwoven, exclusively at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips. Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast today, we are learning more about a fatal accident on 301. We're going to have more information from you, and we'll have the latest details and the other alternative routes maybe you should take in that case. Plus, more fog out there today. John Scalzi has the latest in his first alert forecast, and we've got to look at your traffic to help you start off the day. And big Christmas bonuses. Several big companies surprising employees with bonuses after the passing of the GOP tax bill this week. Those stories and more, they're coming up right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. It is 5:31. I'm Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins has dared to leave and go on vacation. So we are unsupervised today, John Scalzi.
We have to have fire rescue on standby.
We do. They're right outside the studio right now. But we do have a couple incidents, more fog today on this first day of winter.
We do. Again, like the last couple of days, and really nothing has changed a lot, except that we have stronger winds, which could limit the amount of fog that we get just a little bit. So that's one little constriction on the fog forecast. But we do have locations where it's already starting to develop around Sarasota. Taking a look at the maps, half a mile is what he's trying to say in Sarasota. But in other locations, you've got 5-mile visibility down around Punta Gorda. So this is the thing. It's patchy, it's here, there, and you may come up on it quickly, and you may leave it just as quickly. So just allow yourself a little extra time and proceed with a little extra caution. You can see, make out just a little bit that thin ribbon of clouds to our north. That's a frontal boundary, and it is producing some rain showers, but very light stuff. So I'm putting in about a 10% chance of showers in the second half of the day today, anywhere between around 3 and 5, I would think. Maybe a little bit of drizzle or a passing quick shower, nothing really heavy. Otherwise, we're looking at another fine day with daytime highs that top out above average. Complete forecast in a minute. Steph?
All right. Thanks, John. Let's get to that first alert traffic this morning. We've been updating you all morning on an incident that is in Manatee County. It's right on the corner of 301 and 15th Street North, or actually southbound in that case. Call came in around 1:30 this morning. It was a vehicle and pedestrian access. No criminal charges have been filed yet, but it did involve a 2015 Nissan. That's what we know right now. Now, earlier, some of those lanes were blocked, but we just got information that it's not blocked anymore. But if you do have to take that route, we might have what we like to call the gawkers slow down a little bit. So people stopping and trying to take a look at what's going on. So maybe reroute yourself a little bit if you're going in that area again this morning. Again, it is 301 and 15th Street southbound, and that is in Manatee County. Now, if we head into North Sarasota, it's looking pretty good out there a little bit, just a little bit of a slowdown there on Fruitville heading eastbound in that case. But again, like John mentioned, lots of patchy fog instances. Fruitville is actually the exit that I take, and I had a hard time even seeing the exit sign at one point and some of the street signs. So just slow down, give yourself a little bit of extra time out there this morning. Now, if we're going to head into South County, that area is actually looking pretty good. A little bit of a slowdown there heading southbound on 41, but other than that, nothing to see in South County. That has been your first alert traffic. Now, as they celebrate the passage of their ambitious rewrite of the tax code, the GOP, they're trying to avoid a government shutdown at midnight this week. ABC's Arlette Sines has the latest.
Congress is barreling towards a government shutdown with no consensus on how to avoid it. House GOP leaders have presented a tentative plan to keep the government funded through January 19th. Their approach provides a 4-week extension for programs like flood insurance, FISA surveillance, and the Children's Health Insurance Program, which pays for health care for 9 million children.
We'll do something once again before the end of the year to make sure that those states don't get hit with any chip cuts.
It also calls for a standalone vote on an $81 billion disaster relief package. But it's not a done deal. GOP leaders still have to sell the plan to their rank and file, and it's unclear how Republican leaders in the Senate will react. Congress also appears ready to punt until the new year on thorny issues like health care and protections for the so-called dreamers. Democrats are anxious for Republicans to show their cards.
We're trying to get as good a deal as possible, but the bottom line is we haven't even seen anything.
The shutdown scramble comes after Republicans took a tax victory lap, complete with a presidential fist pump.
It's always a lot of fun when you win.
Glowing Republican lawmakers praised the president for their first major legislative win.
You listened to voices no one else was listening to.
You're one heck of a leader, and we're all benefiting from it.
House Republican leadership hasn't indicated when they might hold votes on a spending plan, but lawmakers are eager to avoid a shutdown before the holidays. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Well, he's officially set a date. Senator Al Franken says he will officially resign and leave the Senate on January the 2nd. Taking his place, Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith will join the Senate the following day. Now, speculation about when he would step down has continued since Franken announced his resignation this month amid sexual misconduct allegations. Numerous women accused him of touching them inappropriately. Franken says he will give a series of speeches before he leaves, focusing on the challenges that he sees lawmakers facing in Washington. Two women who settled sexual harassment suits against former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly are now suing him for defamation. Andrea Macaris and Rebecca Gomez-Diamond joined a lawsuit filed by a third woman against both O'Reilly and Fox News on Wednesday. The women say Fox News and O'Reilly violated settlement agreements by making public statements accusing them of being liars and political operatives. Now, O'Reilly left Fox News in April after the New York Times reported that he and Fox paid out millions in settlement money to women who accused him of sexual harassment and verbal abuse. O'Reilly has said he has done nothing wrong and that he was a target of a, quote, political and financial hit job. Well, it's been more than 3 months since Hurricane Irma devastated the Florida Keys, and the islands are still struggling to find that sense of normalcy. Brian Enton reports.
This is not old video from the Florida Keys. This is now. In parts of the lower Keys, little has changed since Hurricane Irma hit on September 10th. There are small signs of Christmas, like an ornament on a fence and a wreath, all surrounded by devastation. We went into the hardest hit neighborhoods on Big Pine Key.
Donna?
Looking for this woman.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Her name is Donna Allison, and we first found her alone and scared 2 days after the storm.
Oh my God, it was bad. Don't never stay in your home if you're disabled. Get out because you're gonna die.
She lived in her badly damaged home for 2 months. At the end of November, she moved with her 2 dogs into a FEMA trailer in her driveway.
It has saved me from having to go through all the bugs and all the not cleanliness. I had to have hot water, and here I do. I have heat, I have air.
Donna's home is one of 1,200 destroyed by Irma. Many cannot be rebuilt.
I don't know how I'm going to even get rid of my home if they make me destroy it. Yet I'm just now starting to face these problems.
Many of the people who live in these devastated neighborhoods have also lost their jobs because so many of the hotels and restaurants are still rebuilding. So with nowhere to live and nowhere to work, many decided to leave the Keys.
And we're already losing a lot of people. I think that we will lose 15 to 20% of our population before this is over.
Many of the employees at the Winn-Dixie on Big Pine Key left after Irma and didn't come back.
They don't have anywhere to live now, and there's no housing for them to move back into now, unfortunately.
Kenny Lowe, the Winn-Dixie manager, has become somewhat of a local hero.
About 15 more minutes, okay?
He's known for opening the store when everything else was closed right after Irma.
We're going to try to service as many people as possible in a 2-hour time frame. Again, we've got volunteers on cash registers.
Kenny gave people hope then, and there are glimmers of hope now. For Donna, it's this little Christmas tree in her FEMA trailer.
At night I can go and turn the lights off, and you can see the lights like when you were a child, and I avoid out the rest of my home, my world. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to start crying.
The holidays are hard for people dealing with loss.
I'm sorry.
And in the Keys, reminders of what Irma took are everywhere.
All right, so what have all these hurricanes cost? Well, the cost of natural disasters jumped sharply in 2017 to $306 billion. That's according to global reinsurance firm Swiss Re. Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria, which cut a path of destruction across the Caribbean and the United States this summer, helped push annual damages far beyond the $188 billion posted in 2016. Now, Harvey caused extensive flooding in Houston, Texas. Maria plunged Puerto Rico into an extended blackout. The U.S. was the hardest hit region, of course, with a huge amount of damage caused by the second costliest hurricane season since 2005. Swiss Re says the three storms combined cost almost $93 billion in insured losses. All right, no hurricanes in this forecast, but lots of fog on this first day of winter.
Exactly right. Yeah, and we have, again, a chance of seeing some dense fog across the area that could slow your commute. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
That we will. Still ahead, we've got the latest in first alert traffic. We want to give you an update on the traffic situation up there in a fatal accident in northern Manatee County. Plus, in Health Smart, can a disease like Parkinson's be detected simply by the smell of someone with the disease? It's a strange story, but we've got it up next for you in Health Smart when Good Morning Suncoast returns.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Meteorologist John Scalzi.
Take a look from our tower cam across the street. You can see a little bit of mist in the air, haze, a little bit of fog on the ground as well. That fog so far not terribly vision limiting in the recording sites that we have and from the spotters that we have, but the potential is there. So I'm going to go ahead and call a first alert weather warning for us here on the Suncoast, just because of the potential that some of this fog over the next couple of fog hours that we have could become dense enough to reduce visibilities below 1/4 mile, which right now we're looking at about a ½ mile in the worst places. Dense fog advisory has been issued for areas around the Crystal River, Big Bend region, all the way up into the panhandle of the state. It has not been extended far enough south to include our area, but it doesn't really matter whether it has or it has not. There's still some fog on the ground in our neck of the woods, even though we don't have a dense fog advisory. ½ mile visibility in Sarasota, and that's thick enough fog that if you have your high beam headlights on and are driving a little too fast, you could run into some problems. So just ease up on that gas pedal. Low beam headlights is what the authorities recommend, and allow yourself a little extra time just in case you do come up on some of that denser fog that may form over the course of the next couple hours. Okay, 71 degrees in Sarasota. We have a dew point value to match. That's 100% relative humidity. What have we got going in our favor today to kind of combat a dense fog situation? Well, we've got slightly increased wind speed, southwest wind at about 7 because of a frontal boundary sinking south. So that helps to reduce the threat somewhat. We'll see if that actually aids in preventing dense fog in our area. But, you know, again, you do have that situation out there where the potential exists. 70 degrees in Tampa, 66 in Fort Myers, Orlando at 68, Gainesville at 68, Tallahassee at 63. And back behind where the front has already passed and the cooler air has filtered in, we've got 56 degrees in Pensacola. That's the kind of morning temperature that we may have on Christmas because of another front that is moving southward. Well, the present front is not going to cool us off all that much. These temperatures that we see across the region, these are probably going to be kind of typical of the morning temperatures over the next several mornings, and we do have a chance of fog again tomorrow morning. 68 degrees Myakka, Wauchula, Arcadia, and then closer to the coast we've got 70s with 71 Boca Grande, Venice, Sarasota, and Bradenton. No rain falling, despite the fact that we will have a little bit of low cloudiness and a little bit more cloudiness in the afternoons even today because of this frontal boundary slowly sinking south. It's a pretty ragged line of showers, nothing intense. A little bit of drizzle, a little bit of patchy rain. Total rainfall amounts, you know, in the tenths of an inch at worst, more likely in the hundredths of an inch to trace amounts for us this afternoon. So I'm not really too terribly concerned about our rainfall chances today. I'll put them at about 10%, that's it. Back behind this front, there is some drier air, and that drier air is going to bridge over this front as it basically falls apart with time and washes away. As it does that, we are going to continue on with the kind of weather we have been having. Patchy morning fog, afternoon sunshine mixed with some fair weather clouds, and then warmer than average daytime high temperatures with little chance of rainfall right straight into the weekend. The next front back to the west, producing some pretty heavy weather across parts of the open plains today, eventually into the Ohio Valley by later tomorrow and into the weekend across the northeast. Bitter cold. That frontal boundary may arrive on our doorstep Sunday night, Monday morning, Christmas morning. And that could bring us, at that time, a little bit of a cool down to more seasonable temperatures and some spotty rain showers around. You'll see that reflected in our extended range forecast. So for boating today, west wind, pretty consistently west wind at about 10 knots, reduced to about 5 knots a little bit later on this afternoon. And the 7-day forecast will call for about a 10% chance of showers for us today later in the day, followed by a daytime high temperature of about 78. Friday, a little bit more sunshine out there. That sunshine trend will continue through Sunday. When Sunday night, the next front comes through, and then on Christmas Monday morning, you may get a little bit of a chance of rainfall, about 20% chance. And then temperatures cool off for the next several days to more seasonable levels. Back to you.
All right, we've got two big stories this morning in your first alert traffic. The first of which was a fatal accident that occurred this morning around 1:30 a.m. It is finally in the cleanup stages. It is being cleaned up slowly. There is traffic running through. That area is in Manatee County, 301 southbound and 15th Street. Those are actually northbound, I'm sorry. It's kind of gone back and forth throughout the morning. Northbound is the one that's still in the cleanup stages. It is, like we mentioned, getting cleaned up slowly, but if that is part of your morning commute, you want to make some extra time for that, or maybe find an alternative route, because there is still some in the northbound lane as well that's getting cleaned up. Again, that was a car and pedestrian fatal crash around 1:30 this morning. That's on the corner of 301 and 15th Street. That's the one to look out for. And of course, the other big story this morning, fog. Lots of patchy fog out there. It's making it hard to see the street signs and the exit ramp signs and things like that. So leave yourself a little bit of extra time and stick a tune. We will keep you covered on all the traffic and weather going on this morning. If you look there in Manatee or in Sarasota County, it's running pretty good out there. You've got your typical slowdowns. It's University Parkway. It's running a little bit slow up there as well. And 780 is still a little bit slow right there. Fruitville Road on the corner of that and 41. You've got a little bit of a traffic breakdown right there. So not too bad. If we head into South Sarasota County, that area is looking pretty good. You have some typical slowdowns heading southbound on 41. But other than that, a pretty easy morning commute with the exception of fog and that little glitch on 301 and 15th in Manatee County. In this hour's Health Smart, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there are children living in at least 4 million households that contain high levels of lead. The CDC warns that there are even lead hazards in some holiday toys and jewelry that your kids might receive. So here's what you can do to protect kids from lead exposure this holiday season. Know where all their toys and jewelry are coming from. Some imported antiques and collectibles often contain small amounts of lead. Check with the manufacturers on the labels and ask what the product is made from if you have any questions. A child can get lead poisoning if he or she swallows or puts any item containing lead in their mouth. Now, if you suspect your child may have been exposed to lead, have their blood tested immediately. That's the only way to check to see if they've been contaminated in that case. There is no safe level of lead in blood, and there are no early symptoms. Prevention is the best way to avoid lead poisoning. And something like lead poisoning, it can actually affect the development of the brain and the nervous system in small children. And there's an unusual breakthrough being made in diagnosing Parkinson's disease, and it involves smelling it out. This is an interesting story. A UK woman noticed her husband had an unusually musky smell to him. Her husband was later diagnosed with the disease. She noted that the same musky smell was on patients at a Parkinson's support group as well. She reported her findings to a doctor at Edinburgh University who specializes in the disease. Now they did this study where they were given 12 unmarked shirts to smell. 6 were worn by Parkinson's patients, 6 worn by those without the disease. This woman correctly identified the 6 shirts worn by Parkinson's patients, noting those same shirts had the same musky smell. Scientists at the Manchester University Research Center are now assembling a team to further research this possible breakthrough. What an interesting story that is. Lots of hope out there. So we've got more stories, we've got more weather, more traffic, and a look at all your headlines coming up next when Good Morning Suncoast returns.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Milberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
It's time to take a road trip.
If you love the beach, Alabama's Gulf Coast has 32 miles of sugar white sand and turquoise water. Looking for a room with a view? We have them. Beachside and bayside. There's incredible history. Whoa! And the seafood is fresh from the Gulf. Another round of shrimp for my friends. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. ANDservices.com.
All right, here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today. The search continues this morning for the person or people responsible for slashing tires on nearly 24 cars in Bradenton. It happened at the Park Crest Landings apartment complex. We're continuing to follow that story. We'll have the latest for you later on today. Plus, more than 5.6 million Floridians were all expected to travel 50 miles or more during the upcoming Christmas New Year's week. That has been a look at your news headlines. John's going to have a little look at the weather.
Information.
That's right, little fog information. That is right. We've got a full hour of news, traffic, and weather straight ahead. Hope you stick with us on Good Morning Suncoast.